And Fletcher Brown with another artist video blog at Kicks96Country.com. Our guest today for her very first visit ever to Kicks Country. Please welcome Billie Jo Jones. How are you, Billie?
I'm great. How are you?
Pretty good. Now, you're Texas, right?
I am Texas.
Now, Texas is a big old place. What part of Texas?
I'm actually in East Texas, so I'm closer to Tyler, Texas.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I know it's not East Texas, but I do spend some time in Houston on a regular basis. I have a lot of friends in Houston.
I was just there last weekend. So,
all right.
Yeah.
So, well, talk to us a little bit about, we're going to get into your music, but we
Yeah.
wanted to learn about you. This is your first time here, so talk
Okay.
to us a little bit about growing up outside Tyler, Texas.
Okay, so I was actually born and raised in Emory, Texas, which is a really small town in East Texas. And then I moved about 25 minutes down the road, and I now live in Grand Saline, Texas. But most people don't know where Grand Saline is, so I just say Tyler because everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I know where Tyler is." But I was raised by my grandparents. They raised me since I was 1, so I grew up listening to what I call the oldies but goodies. So Loretta Lynn, Tammy Wynette, Ray Price, George Jones, all the greats. And so I'm trying to bring that traditional country kind of in the mix of the modern country that we're doing these days.
You are, and we're going to get into that with the current single seriously. But I think it's interesting that you rattle off all these names of these great classic country artists. So you grew up listening to them. When did you realize that you could do that too?
Oh gosh. I mean, I pretty much started singing when I was like 3 years old. I just pulled up a video yesterday in the car because we had like a 9-hour drive here. And I pulled it up and I was singing Shania Twain and Billy Ray Cyrus. I don't know. There was all kinds of little videos, and I would make my grandparents sit and like listen to me in the living room. And so I always knew I wanted to be a singer. I started singing in church and like the local Opries. It's kind of like the Grand Ole Opry, but the smaller Opries, in Texas. And so I knew I always wanted to be a singer. So.
And your family supported you in this. They were like, I guess they looked at little 3-year-old Billie Jo and just said, "Yep,
Yes.
she's gonna be a star."
My grandparents put a lot of miles on several different vehicles, taking me anywhere and everywhere that would let me sing.
All right, so did you started singing obviously at a very young age? When did you branch into like songwriting, actually, making your own music?
Songwriting honestly didn't come until later on in life. I think I was around 22, 21, 22 when I started songwriting, and so. I've actually been really working on that the past few years and really trying to hone my craft and figure out my voice and the songs I wanted to release. And then I write more from personal experience, so I love to do co-writes with other people that we can kind of make up something new.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Well, I first heard your name in 2020. I think you had a song "Simpler Way of Life."
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you made an impression then, so I was like,
that's so awesome.
I
love
remembered that. But here, that was like 2020 was the year of the pandemic,
Yes.
the year we lost. And so did you release that song like pre that or right just after that had happened, or how did that impact you?
I honestly think it was pre that, if I remember right. It's been a little bit, but I wrote that song with Tammy Marler, and she's another hometown girl from Emory, Texas. And so we actually wrote it about Emory, Texas, how we just love the simpler way of life, because a lot of people, when you live in a small town, they can't wait to get out and go to the big city and stuff. And I wanted to write a song about just enjoying where you are. But really you can enjoy it no matter what. So even if you live in the city, people loved the song because that's their simpler way of life. Like that's what they love. Like that's where they love to be. So it's really for anybody out there.
And you brought the traditional sound that you were raised on into that, and that mentality. I mean, obviously, simpler way of life. There's a lot to be said for that. And now here we are, 3 years later. You've got a brand new single, "Right Now, Kinda Girl." Yes. So let's talk about "Right Now, Kinda Girl."
Yes.
Now, is that one that you wrote or one that you found?
I actually did not write that one. There's a guy that's here with me. He owns Get Joe Records. He's the label owner, and he actually wrote that song probably 3 years ago. He wrote it about his fiance. And when he met me a year and a half ago, he was like, "I think I might have a song for you," because he got to know me and he realized that, number one, I'm impatient. I don't like to lose. I don't like playing games because I don't want to lose, and I'm a right now kind of girl, so I want things to happen like right here, right now, and I'm not always patient. I try to work on it.
Oh, so that's what a right now kind of girl is.
Yes,
it's like I want it now.
I want it right now. I mean, most women are like that, I will have to say. But yeah, so when I heard the song, I was like, man, I've got to have it. Like that's got to be, because I took a little break from releasing music to radio, and I was like, this has got to be my comeback song. So,
okay, well, I think
it went #1 in Texas. And so we're still climbing on Music Row chart right now for the mainstream side of things.
Yeah,
We're at,
you
like,
are.
number 33, I think, maybe on there, but it's doing great.
Yeah,
I'm
you've
excited.
got a hit record now.
Yes.
It's a top 40 on Music Row chart.
Yeah.
We're playing it here at Kicks 96. You've
y'all.
actually had an interesting couple of years. It's like you were just named this year the new female artist semifinalist at what is it, the T3R Awards? What's
Yes,
that?
T3R. It's a Texas Regional Radio Awards. It's the biggest award show in Texas for country music. And so I won the Future Faces competition there. And then I got to perform that night at the award show, which is at Texas Live, right there in Arlington, right by the Texas Ranger Stadium. And so that was incredible. That was, man, that night it's so much fun. If y'all ever get a chance to just come hang out, it is so fun to just meet people and talk about music and find new friends. So
And you were also a finalist, Texas Songwriter finalist with Jack Ingram.
yes, yeah, that was my second time to make the finals, to be top 8 out of hundreds of people that submit their songs each year. So I was top 8 again. We got to do a little writers retreat with Jack Ingram, Liz Rose, and Tranny Anderson, which she wrote "Heart Like a Truck" for Lainey Wilson and several others. So that was an incredible experience in itself, just to be able to hang out with all those guys. Like,
Well, Billie Jo, you've got right now, "Kind of Girl" is a single. It's already a hit for you, and you are. How does it feel now to hear your song on radio stations or see your song on a chart list right next to other contemporary country artists? That, I mean, is there anybody on that list that you're just like, my name is right there near
oh yeah,
this person's name? Like,
every week, when I look at Music Row chart, I'm like, oh my gosh, like Luke Combs is right there, Riley Green, and then I'm like, oh, I just passed Riley Green, which I didn't really pass him.
Yeah.
He actually had already hit the top and was coming down. But to me, I was just like, oh, I'm so cool. Like I passed Riley Green. But I love that. I love seeing my name there. It's one of those things that I've worked really hard for. And I hope it just continues to grow. And even with the next, we've got another single ready to come out right behind this one. So
oh, really? So you've
yes.
already got new music
Oh yeah,
in the wings.
we're ready. Yeah, we're ready to go.
What about the album? Is the album done?
Yes, the album is done. We did 10 songs with Kent Wells, which is Dolly Parton's producer in Nashville.
We know Kent, yeah.
And so we have 10 new songs ready to go. The album is going to be called "Some Girls Don't Cry." We just released that on social media a couple days ago. And it'll be out sometime this summer. So I am super, super excited to get that out because we've been working on it for probably about a year and a half. We've been in the studio doing that. So
all right.
Yeah.
So you're gonna look for big things from Billie Jo Jones. She's been knocking on Nashville's door for a while now. She's pretty much already dominating Texas, and Texas has its own music scene that's pretty impressive.
It really does.
I mean, do you consider yourself, just as it's kind of aside,
Yeah.
do you consider yourself red dirt?
No.
No?
I don't think so. I think I've always had my sights set on mainstream
Okay.
in the mainstream radio. I love Texas. I love Texas country music. I love the people in it. It's kind
Yeah.
of like a whole family thing that we have going. I mean, everyone supports everyone for the most part, and it's a great community and a great family to be involved in. But I've always had my sights set on bigger things. So
Absolutely.
that's what I'm going to keep going for.
Billie Jo Jones, our guest. If anybody here is decided that they've got to know everything they can about you, where do they find you on the internet?
You can go to my website. It's BillieJoJones.com. So BillieJo Jones.com. And you can find all my music, videos, whatever's going on. Well, I try to put whatever's going on that week on the website, but sometimes I get behind. You know how it goes, social media. But we try to keep it up to date. Y'all come see a show sometime. I play full band shows all over the place. We're actually going to be taking a trip from Texas to Louisiana to Kansas to Wisconsin in July and back, and then over to Nebraska. So we're getting out of Texas this year. I'm excited.
Oh, she's touring the heartland, man.
Yeah.
You guys get out there and see her. Billie Jo,
Yeah.
we're going to see if we can't get her to play something live for us here in the Kicks 96 studio. If you want to hear Right Now Kind of Girl, I recommend it. We are playing it on Kicks 96, so make sure you call us and we'll be happy to play it for you. And Billie, thank you so much for coming and visiting us.
Thank you for having
And
me.
make sure you come back. Don't let this be the last time you visit
I know,
us, okay?
I would love to. I would
Okay.
love to.
All right. Billie Jo Jones is our guest, and we'll see you next time on another artist video blog, kicks96country.com.
I can't wait.